What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome into Ask DLF. Obviously, I'm not Cal. Y'all been hanging out with Cal and I last week. All three of us for the past couple of weeks. Before that, Cal will be here. He's running late. He messaged us about 15 minutes ago and said that he's going to be a couple minutes late, which I thought meant by around ish this time, but it doesn't look like that. So we'll see what happens another 5-10 minutes. Maybe Cal will get in here. But Tyler, it's just you and me as for right now. How's it going, man? Welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be back. I was always going to come back. I think. I don't know. The people did demand it. I did hear a lot of "Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?" So thank you to everyone who missed me. And yeah, no, it is good to be back. I do plan to be back. The world didn't end. The world did not end when I did not come on the show. I really thought that me not being on the show, the world was literally going to end, but it didn't. And now we're all still here. So because of that, I feel pretty good. I've done like 60 shows in a row, including multiple with fevers over 103, 2 COVID shows, and a couple of other things, massive migraines, a lot of stuff. The shows, at least 5 shows in there I should not have done. So I have learned that taking a week off is okay. The world won't end. And hopefully I don't have to take off any weeks anytime soon. But, burnout is a thing. So keep that in mind if you're a content creator.
Sure. Absolutely. For sure. And we appreciate you taking it before the season officially started so that we can get 2022 NFL season Tyler takes,
I mean, This is a good week for me to be back. This is like one of the biggest news days we've had in a long time, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. Essentially, I mean, roster cuts and everything were the past couple of days kind of been ongoing, and trade deadline, kind of ish the trade deadline before like cuts, So if you didn't want to cut a player, you had to trade somebody, that kind of stuff. So we got some news to talk about in regards to all that. We got just normal everyday Dynasty fantasy football roster management, getting ready for the season that's literally going to start in 9 days. So excited. First of all, though, just want to let y'all know that this show is brought to you by and sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. I'm sure Cal's going to talk about it a little bit later when he does show up, but sponsored by Underdog, the easiest and best way to play fantasy football during the season. If you haven't yet tried drafting in the best ball while they have it right now, you can use promo code DLF when you sign up. You get a free year of DLF Premium when you do that and put in a minimum $10 deposit. But we'll talk about that a little bit later with Cal.
Someone walked past me on the street with an Underdog shirt.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's New York. I mean, there's like a million people there, so the odds.
It's always hard for me with Underdog. I never see myself as an underdog. Everyone always says like I'm the 28,000 follower guy. I can't be an underdog anymore. Now I'm the bully. Big account. So I don't get to be an underdog. I remember when I started, I could relate to being an underdog, but now I don't get to.
Let's get into these questions here. We got Zay has the first question in here. Traded Joe Mixon for 2 2023 firsts and Robert Woods in a 1 QB, and he's close to flipping the first for DK, Godwin, and Akers. What do you think about it?
I love it. I would rather have DK over Mixon at all. So Woods is nice, but not so important. So I'd rather have DK over Mixon, and then Godwin and Akers are pretty good. So I approve.
Yeah. This is amazing. This is definitely an opportunity I think we have right now where future firsts are being valued so highly that there are instances where they're being overvalued to where you can pull moves off like this and just get some amazing players on your roster instead of those firsts. So yeah, I really like this. Sean, someone offered me Jamar Chase for my Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk. He's a contender, but he has a lot of running backs and Joe Burrow. Should he accept?
Yes. Take Jamar Chase and don't look back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty easy one. Even if CMC has a CMC season.
I heard you took a lot of heat, actually. I heard that's what I heard. I heard you took a lot of heat. And I've actually heard from other things, even off Twitter, you took a lot of heat for that. But you should tell the people about that, because you had a lot of likes on that post, but there were a lot of people criticizing you about your take about Christian McCaffrey. You care to comment?
47 retweets, 37 quote tweets, 938 likes. This is within basically 24 hours when I kind of tweeted this at this time.
Yes, my 28,000 followers do me no good. I never get any interaction like that.
This is probably the most.
You know what my most popular tweet ever is? My most popular tweet ever is me essentially saying Deshaun Watson is a bad person. That's my most popular tweet ever. The second most is saying that we should focus on the human side of the Brian Robinson situation. So clearly, whenever I tweet about fantasy football, not so good. Maybe I should tweet more about real life because I seem to do better.
Do what I did when I tweeted. I tweeted out, if you have the 1.01 and take Jonathan Taylor over Christian McCaffrey, you're a coward. Inflammatory.
Oh my God. No, I'm a coward then. In that case.
That's a redraft take, by the way. That is a redraft take.
Then I'm still a coward. And I don't care. I mean, I would still take Jonathan Taylor at 101 in a redraft. I don't see why I wouldn't do that. I mean, Christian McCaffrey has missed so much time. I mean, he's missed a lot of time. And who knows if they're going to... The last 2 years, he's missed a lot of time. And why would they do the same thing that's led to him missing more time? So I don't know if he's going to get that same level of workload. And there's another possibility people don't want to consider is that Jonathan Taylor's ceiling could actually improve. It's year 3, not year 7. Year 3 of someone who the NFL top 100 says is the 6th best player in the league. That's insane. But, this is a year 3 running back who I believe is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Why can't he improve? He is a better quarterback than he's had the previous 2 years, in my opinion. So his ceiling could increase. So I don't agree with that take. I think it's a bad take. And I would, I do. Yeah, and the Damian Pierce truthers, I think today are letting you hear it. So they're going to do worse to you than anything I could ever do.
Oh, but I muted that tweet. That one's
well, you have to, because this is be a very bad day for you otherwise. I did see the one about you deleting the app, but I would say that I would still take Jonathan Taylor at 101.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. You could be wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Sean, we're taking Jamar Chase.
I'm wearing a $100 bill. How could I be wrong?
Yeah, that's facts. I got you. Take Jamar Chase, Sean.
Yeah, easily.
Kick Coop, running backs that made the cut, deep stash question. Rank these for this year's value and long-term value. Kenny Nwangu, Jordan Mason, Avery Williams. P.S.
Who is Avery Williams?
I don't even know who Jordan Mason is.
I don't know who that is. Does he mean Kyron Williams?
Maybe.
It's a 5-letter name that has some of the same letters.
If you type Kyron into your phone, does it autocorrect to Avery? No, it stayed Kyron for me.
I don't know. So...
glad Brian Robinson is all right, and hope you fellas are too.
Yeah.
Yes, we are glad that Brian Robinson is okay. Yeah. And we're doing okay.
Yeah, I would take I don't know who Avery Williams is, so I guess I wouldn't take him. I'd rather have Nwangu over Mason. I don't really know anything about Mason. I don't like him. And they kept Williams 5 running backs.
Atlanta Falcons running back.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. So I'm not super interested.
He was drafted in the 5th round of last year's draft and was the primary kick and punt returner and a core special teamer and gunner last year. And then was moved to running back this offseason, going back to his primary position in high school.
I've just never heard of him.
I haven't either. That's wild. I'm taking Kenny Nwangu. A lot of people really like Ty Chandler. Are you Chandler or Nwangu?
Chandler.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like a lot of these guys, like these 3 guys specifically, and there's probably a bunch more that can all be grouped together of just like, they're kind of like interesting, but when you got to make cuts of your own or, week 1 happens and you got a waiver wire person to add, these are going to be the first players that you cut.
Probably.
So the answer might not really matter right now. Jesse, happy Tuesday, guys. Taco Tuesday. 10 team Superflex, half PPR, 1 tight end premium. Traded Tua for Matt Ryan and a 23 first. Not a big fan of Ryan, but 23 first are hard to pass up. He also has Herbert and Russ. Team with the first picked 3rd in this year's class.
I'll take the 23 first.
Are you taking the first straight up over Tua?
In a 10 team Superflex, probably.
Okay. And then just Ryan.
Quarterbacks lose a lot of value in 10 team Superflex. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Ryan's a fun 3rd QB to play on both their bye weeks. I think I would do that too. I think I'd take the 23 first, especially if that team's not that good.
Yeah.
So yeah. Dylan, concerns for Trey Lance in redraft and Dynasty with Jimmy Garoppolo back on a 1-year restructured contract.
No.
No.
No concerns.
No. What ended up happening, right? The kind of the take right now is that this allowed them to extend their trading potential or hope to the actual deadline in like October, November, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. So you're still thinking that, like I'm thinking, that he's going to be traded.
Maybe not. Depends on if they get a good offer and how they're doing. If they're 2-6, he's more likely to get traded than if they're 6-2.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense for sure. Because at least he's shown that he can run this offense at a Super Bowl to a Super Bowl. That doesn't mean that he was the reason for the Super Bowl, but yeah, for sure. There's really no reason at all why he should be starting over Trey Lance.
No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, so I'm not worried at all. Scott McCoy, Najee Harris for Saquon Barkley in a 23 first, 12-team happy VR would still have 4 firsts for 23 and 24.
I mean, if it's 1 QB, is it bad that I still want Najee Harris? But I don't even want to pay that for Najee Harris. So
that's what it's come down to for me, is that the way he's phrasing it, he would still have 4 firsts. That means to me that he has Barkley in the 23 first, and he's trading both of those for Najee.
I just sell Barkley. I'll just sell Barkley for something else. I'll sell Barkley, but I don't want to do this deal.
Yeah, I'm not paying. This is something that I would like.
I don't want to pay a 23 first to make Barkley go away. I just want to make Barkley go away, especially if I already have 4 firsts.
Yeah, I'm not making this deal, Scott. Also, Scott, if you guys were to move Mark Andrews, what are you looking at getting in return? He gave the 1.03 for him this year. Well, that was
I don't want to move Mark Andrews, and the 103 is a steal. So if that's what you paid for him, I don't know how you're going to get anything close to what I would want. So
what would make you say yes?
I don't even know, because tight end of that caliber is hard to replace. So
2 23 firsts.
In what? Like a regular? I mean, I'd probably take it.
I'm assuming it's the same league. He said 12-team half PPR. So
yeah, 223 firsts would be nice, but I don't think you're gonna get that.
First and second, no, not enough.
Not enough.
First and TJ Hawkinson, or
no.
First and George Kittle.
That's better. I'd consider that one.
Would you do Andrews in a first for Pitts?
No.
Andrews in a second?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully that helped framed out a little bit there for you, Scott. Because I agree on all of that as well.
Yeah.
Mystical Child.
Aw, feel better.
His first show back since his ACL surgery a couple months ago. How are you feeling? Hopefully it's good. Let us know how it's going, because then that could help give us a little bit of insight maybe into J.K. Dobbins. Joke.
Well, he's not going to be ready. J.K. Dobbins is not ready. I don't need more insight. Now he's not going to be ready. He doesn't look ready to me. It seems like this is going to take a long time, because now it doesn't seem like he's going to be ready to take a full workload week 1. Why did they need to sign Kenyon Drake? That doesn't sound so good. So Kenyon Drake, I mean, it's another washed up old player.
Gus is on the pup, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that was the Drake.
No, they cut Tyler Beatty and sign Kenyon Drake because they know that their backups are. You don't sign Kenyon Drake if Kenyon Drake is going to sit on the bench. If Kenyon Drake was going to sit on the bench, you would keep Tyler Beatty, the player you drafted, the young rookie that you drafted. You only sign Kenyon Drake if you intend to use Kenyon Drake, which is bad. It's bad. Mike Davis is already there. Now they're thinking they're also going to use Kenyon Drake in addition to Mike Davis. That means that J.K. Dobbins is nowhere near 100%. Nowhere near. And he can lie and say he's 100% all he wants. But you see what the team is doing. Don't listen to what J.K. Dobbins says. All of the beat reports say he's not ready. He's not ready. He's not ready. He's not ready. The team is saying by signing Kenyon Drake that he's not ready. So I do think he's going to play, but he's not ready. Things have taken a turn for the worst in the last couple of weeks. It was looking good, but now it doesn't look so good. So I've moved him way down. I don't want any part of him.
Sounds good. He said, thank you for answering my question earlier on Twitter about Damien.
I don't remember it. I get a lot of questions on Twitter.
It's probably about selling them, I think.
That sounds about right.
Usually I would remember, I'm sorry, but today of all days, I have my phone. I need to mute conversation.
Oh, I just don't remember anything that happens on Twitter. It's good
fair.
for my mental health to not remember it.
I don't remember what I ate for breakfast, so nothing.
That I remember.
Ryan, happy Tuesday. What's up, y'all? Taco Tuesday. Grade my recent Brees trade. Gave 23 and 24 firsts, Antonio Gibson and Jahan Dotson, all for Brees Hall.
I mean, that seems excessive.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. I'll give it a
C.
C.
You have to give Gibson and Dodson? Like, I'm fine with moving Gibson. Like, that's not. I feel like maybe in a year this might not seem like a lot, but it seems like a lot right now.
Yeah. I don't know. Depends on how Dotson develops, really.
Hey,
where that first lands.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, that too for sure. If that first is like top half to where you're getting another top 3 running back in next year's class, then that might change some things. Or if it ends up being Bijan, then that would just be worst case scenario.
Well,
yeah,
you never want it to be Bijan.
Well, you want your first that you have to be Bijan.
Well, yeah, but you don't want the first you're giving away to be Bijan.
Right.
That would be bad, right?
Speaking of Antonio Gibson, Randy wants to know what to do with him now with the Brian Robinson. We'll just call it injury. Yeah. Do you think his trade value went up because of that though?
Yes. Significantly, yes. Now this is your last chance. This is it. They moved on from Antonio Gibson. He was back.
Do you take him into the season?
No.
He shows
absolutely
week
not.
1 that he does something.
No, they don't like him at all. They don't like Antonio Gibson. You don't want to take that chance. What if, I mean, you don't know what could happen in the next couple of days. I mean, Sony Michel or Marlon Mack could be on a plane, and we don't want to hear about that. That doesn't sound so good.
Their first 2 games are against the Jaguars and the Lions.
I do not care. I don't care. I don't trust Antonio Gibson.
Man.
Antonio Gibson was literally 5 hours away from being benched. I mean, it already happened. He was benched. Antonio Gibson was the backup. Like, when this news dropped, I was in the middle of moving Brian Robinson, re-ranking everything with Brian Robinson as the starter. So it was over.
Yeah.
It was like Gibson lost. So you don't want the player. You don't want a player who's a loser.
Yeah.
Tell him now. You still can.
What are you getting for him? Are you getting, like, would you sell him for a second?
I mean, in Superflex, you could do worse.
Yeah. See, I feel like at that point of a second, I feel like he would still, like, I would take him into the first 2 weeks. I would ride him for the Jags and the Lions. If the best I'm getting is a second, because
I guess
you might still get second round value, just like in the form of maybe like a player. Like, you might end up being able to, flip him for like Juju or Judy or, something that seems a little bit more than a first. I don't know. I know you don't like those players as much, but that's what I'm thinking in my mind. Replace them with somebody that you
like. But if he comes out and looks bad, then the value's gone and it's never coming back.
Yeah, so that's fair.
So I would explore what you can get now.
Do you guys think Adam Troutman could ever be a thing? He picked him up for free, and he's backing up Pitts on his team.
No, Adam Troutman sucks. I think we should spend more time on players who matter. And he is absolutely terrible. So there's no point in discussing him.
Yeah, sorry, Randy.
He's terrible. 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 He doesn't belong in the NFL, let alone worth our time on this show.
Eric, curious to know our thoughts. He said he asked Tyler multiple times, so he knows his stance, and 12 teams reflects is a 23-second and DJ Moore enough to move off Jalen Waddle.
I mean, I'd rather have Jalen Waddle, but he knows that already.
Yeah, I'd take Jalen Waddle. That's fine. The second is not enough for me to move off of DJ Moore. Waddle is more explosive, could be more productive, even with Tyreek Hill, and younger. Plus. This one is for Cal. Unfortunately, he's not here yet. Baby's no longer accepting a bottle after 3 months, so any experience is appreciated.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Did we just get a super chat?
Yeah.
Pull it up.
Mark. Mark, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And I look better.
You're glowing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's just a light. But yeah, thank you.
Mark, thank you. Happy Taco Tuesday back to you as well. We are super happy to have Tyler back on the show as well. And you are glowing. You are. Yeah, I don't know if it's the light or not, but you are glowing. Where were we? Back up top. M. Yeckersley. M. Jalen Warren, Julius Chestnut, Ty Chandler. Please rank his dynasty stashes. Thank you and best of luck this season, fellas. Best of luck to you.
Yes. So
Warren is top. Number one.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I have Warren last.
What? No.
No. The only one of these three players that's even half decent, like actually, is Chandler. Okay. The other two are not good. But if I had to choose between them, I do like Chestnut a lot, actually. I mean, I'll rank them in the order I have them as players, which is Chandler, Chestnut, Warren.
I can get on board with Chandler. I just think Warren has the opportunity of being the direct backup to Najee. And Najee's been dealing with like this, like they did and then did not call it a Liz Frank ever since he got his foot stepped on. So I don't really know what's going on with that. He's been practicing in full and then played on the preseason game, but then they still said something about his foot's and bothering him. So whatever. It seems like Jalen Warren is the primary backup, though. We'll see if he survives signings again. Like I've secretly, as a Steelers fan, I've been hoping that they would sign Sony Michel.
They could sign Sony Michel.
Yeah, or even Marlon Mack, both of whom are significantly better, I think, than anybody that they have currently behind Najee. And both, I think, would be able to take on a Pittsburgh Steelers workload for a small amount of time.
They finally also cut Anthony
McFarland. Yeah.
No, I don't know who that is. Anthony McFailure, I'm aware of. That one, I know who that is. And they finally cut him.
That was the dumbest thing ever. I don't understand why anybody was on that. He was so out of place as a Steelers running back. It didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, none at all.
It was so weird. But I remember he had the whole they just drafted him, and then Maryland's running back coordinator or coach or something like that was hired by the Steelers. So they were like, oh, they love Maryland. So Anthony McFarland is going to be a starter over James Conner. And I'm like, when have we ever cared about any of that? Anyway, that was a whole weird thing, especially for me as a Steelers fan. Yeah. I didn't get it. Kid Coop, is it time to give up on Diamy Brown? I think it was time 2 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was time to give up 2 years ago. Cut him. I mentioned him on the video I recorded today that is going to drop tomorrow. Not in a very favorable light. So I just mentioned him.
It's crazy that Diamy Brown's only played 1 year in the NFL.
He was a rookie last year?
Yeah.
I thought he was 2020.
No. Feels like it's been a while, but no.
That's
unfortunate. But yes, pretty much. Yeah, you can give up on Diamy Brown.
Yeah.
I still have Diamy Brown ranked, but he's not ranked very high.
JB Cho knows. Let's go. Let's go. P to the R. Taco Tuesday. Hope you have a great day. Glad to see Tyler back. What's the best offer I should ask for Dameon Pierce in a 14-team Superflex?
Well, I want a first.
He's been going for firsts.
So
2023 first is insane.
That would be nice. 2023 first.
Man. That could be a whole
the Dameon Pierce tribe is coming for you. We could go through your
Gators fans.
We could go through your tweet history, all the things you said about Dameon Pierce.
Oh, you can go through this channel's video history.
I somehow no one's coming for me. I've said all the same things.
Yeah, but I just say it more inflammatory. So it's
that's true. I'm stunningly between the two of us. I'm actually the more like smooth waters person on Twitter.
I just like to incite violence.
Well, see, if I say something like that on here, there's nothing anyone can do about it. There's nowhere to. I mean, you can come at me in the comments, but like, I don't even read those. Whereas, like in Twitter, it comes up in my feed.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of hate in the comments on YouTube though. So
it's because people have to seek you out to find the YouTube videos. True. On Twitter, people just come across it.
Oh yeah, like random. That's like why. Egg. Avatar
like you're getting a bias on. You know, it's a little different. Like on my channel, for example, I get almost no hate because like you have to be on my channel. Why would you be on my channel if you didn't like me? My channel's not big enough to just randomly come across it. On this channel, I do get some hate because there are people who, you know, aren't on the DLF channel for me specifically, and maybe they don't like me. No one's on the DLF channel who doesn't like you because you are most of the videos.
I still get the hate.
Somewhat.
It's just player hate though. Like it's like they're just like, you're an idiot, and then they'll listen to all my other takes.
Oh my god, yeah. No, everyone always acts like I just come up with my takes randomly. Like I just put them in like a little bingo thing and then pull one out. It's like it doesn't work that way. I wish it did. That would be more fun. I should do that. You know, when I retire from the industry, I should just do that. Like keep the Twitter account and just keep making takes, but instead of like them actually being based on something, they're just based on nothing, and see how long it takes people to realize that. That would be a fun activity for me to do once I retire from doing this. But don't worry, that's not going to be for at least some long period of time.
Adam, grade my team. Oh, he's on.
Well, where is it?
Down here. I found it.
Oh, there we go.
One grade 12 team, one quarterback.
It was a dynasty, I guess. It looks okay. This is not a good question for a live show. This is good for my Patreon. It's same thing on Twitter. This isn't not great on Twitter. I scroll through my notifications really fast. Just like we scroll through the questions on this show. It's a lot to visualize. I do suggest if you're on the show, simpler the question, the more time I'm likely. It's actually funny. The simpler, shorter the question, I actually spend more time on it. This kind of question, I'm like, it looks okay. And that's probably all you're going to get. Trades are the best questions for this show, by the way.
Is this a redraft team?
I also can't tell, but like I said, it's hard for me to visualize this on a live show. So let's just move on.
I'm assuming this was a redraft team, and this is actually how he drafted it. Like 101.
Yeah, no, I think so. It's again though.
Redraft, I like it. It's pretty solid.
It's fine.
He also.
I doubt it's redraft though, because Cook's in the 7th seems unlikely. It's probably Dynasty. No, but it has to be redraft because Elijah Moore. Or is this not? I don't know.
Sorry, Adam.
Again, yeah.
He also asked if you think
team evaluation questions are not really my thing on this show. It's just too hard.
Yeah.
Do I think Kenyon Drake will have a role in Baltimore?
We kind of hinted at it a little bit.
Did you want to play Devonta Freeman and Latavius Murray last year? Not really. Like, I have Kenyon Drake in redraft at running back 52. So I'm saying no. I do think that J.K. Dobbins is going to play. I just think that they're planning on a 3-way committee. You don't sign Kenyon Drake and cut like Tyler Beatty if you don't plan to use Kenyon Drake. So I think they're going to use all 3 backs.
Yeah.
And then I think when Gus Edwards returns, he's going to replace Mike Davis.
Do you think this is like they're going to revert Kenyon Drake back to his Miami role? And this is kind of like a J.D. McKissick thing?
Yeah. Not quite J.D. Well, he wasn't J.D. McKissick. But like he was, used more in the passing game. It wasn't J.D. McKissick. He had carries. He had 150 to 160 carries each year. But yeah, something along those lines, probably with less, but like percentage wise in terms of carries to receptions. But there's no receptions in the Baltimore backfield anyway.
Right.
So I don't think Kenyon Drake is going to have a big role. He's going to play a lot on 3rd down and not catch the ball. I don't want him. But if he's on the field, that means Dobbins isn't on the field.
Right. He said Tyler's so money he even wears it as clothing.
I shrugged the wrong shoulder. Tried to shrug the shoulder with a $100 bill on it. I couldn't even figure out what shoulder that was.
So money, bro.
I just watched the Elvis movie today.
Did you? Was it good? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it was good, but it also made me feel like from watching it, I was like, oh no, I have some of these habits as a talent. No, don't worry. I don't do it. I don't do any drugs in the bathroom. Not yet. I haven't gotten to that point of burnout in my career just yet.
If you get to that point, let me know.
I will. I will. I'll be sure to let the people know if I ever get there.
Did you see the trailer for the Weird Al show or Weird Al?
No, I don't. No, I didn't.
Daniel Radcliffe is going to be Weird Al.
Oh, really? I love Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. And it looked entertaining. I don't know if it's going to be like good, but like it looked entertaining.
Daniel Radcliffe makes things better.
Matthew said, just popped in to say, I hope everyone is living their best lives and we're all in this together, just like High School Musical.
I was literally about to start singing it, and then I realized, no, I'm live on a show about football. I can't. I mean, I could. I think the people would turn it off. I'm not a very good singer.
Well,
you want to give us your best High School Musical of that?
No, definitely not. I try to do the dance.
Oh, because if you don't want to, then you should definitely do it.
No, I don't want to do it. Definitely not.
All right. Just let the record show that Addison was going to be embarrassed.
If we hit 150 simultaneous viewers, if I see this number hit 150 at any point during the season, I'll do it.
Ooh, I'm holding you to that.
I might not do it live, but I'll probably just like record it and then like let it play or tweet it out.
Wow.
Like that, but
everyone heard what he committed to there.
Everybody's gonna be on. Log in on different accounts and stuff. Get your wife to just log in.
Oh, yes, please.
Cal wasn't here to hear that, so
I derive so much of my self-worth from how many people view this show. So please do it. It'll make me feel better. Me and viewers are like Addison and likes.
Oh, hit the like button. Oh, sorry, like button.
See, promo.
Traded Dalvin Cook and Tyreek Hill for Javonte and DJ Moore. Probably hurts a little this year, but he's getting some extra years.
It's A+. This is an A+. And I will say that this kind of reminds me of one of the first things I learned in Dynasty, actually from Ryan McDowell. I forget which podcast it's on, probably DLF podcast. Buying back years. You're buying back a lot of years without taking much of a hit in production. So yeah, take the Javonte side easily.
Yeah, for sure. I think honestly, there's like Javonte and DJ Moore could be worth more now than Dalvin and Tyreek Hill. Like individually, like one for one.
Oh, they are.
I know Javonte is for sure. I don't know if DJ's there yet with Tyreek.
I think DJ Moore is worth more than Tyreek Hill.
Hold on.
He has a higher ADP. 25 to 26.
He does. All right. A+. You got the two.
See, I know that because I used VLOOKUP to transfer the ADP from DLF to my own spreadsheet. And I didn't copy them in one by one.
I'm glad you're learning, Tyler.
Oh, but I want to make a video of how long that took. And then we're going to force you to watch it on half speed.
No.
Yes. Yes, you'll have to watch it on half speed.
I don't even edit my videos on normal speed. I edit my videos on 1.5.
You got to teach me how to video edit.
It's not that hard. Cut and paste.
Remember how long it took you how to teach me how to use VLOOKUP.
Okay, but that's a little different though. Like video editing, I think is easier than Excel.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, we'll see.
Oh my gosh. What do we got going on over here? Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on here?
Cal, what did you do to your background?
I've got a brand new setup, baby.
What do you think? You got some? Is that some like Philips hue lights in the back?
It's some RGB. It's supposed to be responding to my voice here. I don't know if that's happening, but
where's my brand new setup?
I got some work to do. It's not done. I don't know. Any suggestions? Like that's why I'm late because I couldn't get all of these things to work. But hopefully I'll get a better process down here before. Appreciate you guys holding down the ship. How's it going so far?
Good.
It's going
I made a promise. I made a promise of something that I would do at 150 concurrent viewers whenever we hit that milestone. So we'll see what happens.
He's gonna sing High School Musical.
The
We're all in this together song.
Care to comment?
That's great. I love that. Look, I got a lot of work to do on it, I know, but like, look, it's a start, okay? It's a start. We'll see.
So you're not in a strip club?
I am not currently. No.
He didn't answer that at the beginning. So
yeah, that's true. He didn't answer it.
Not currently. Yeah, no.
Married people can still go to strip clubs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not usually.
Well, we know what he said, that advice for what to do when you're married a couple weeks ago. Remember
My
that, Tyler?
advice?
No, Cal's advice
Oh, my advice was don't do it.
was to never stop dating. Remember that was
Oh,
Cal's
that's
advice.
right.
So it was all
Oh, and I've never let him live that one down. At least mentally, I've never let him live it down. I don't know if I've actually said anything about it.
All right.
Let's see. Cal, we're at 9:15. Well, 8:15 for you, your central time.
I will try to get caught up here. You keep going.
Ed says it's time to give up on Diamy Brown. Yep.
You know, I think Ed is very smart.
Yes.
I wonder why.
Be Ed. JB
Was
said
there-
Barkley was going to rock it. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, was there like a question about that?
There was,
any-
yeah, a little bit back.
Somebody asked if he was done.
Okay.
Yeah. Barkley's
Agreed.
going to rock it. I agree. He's
I
going to
don't
rock
think
it. But I'd still, I'll take the Barkley side.
People told me, I was told that because I ranked Saquon Barkley as RB12 for the season, that suddenly I was in on Saquon Barkley. That was good. That meant that I was high on him. I was like, no, you haven't checked the other analyst ranks very recently, because if RB12 is not high on Saquon Barkley compared to the current consensus.
You've been softening a lot, though.
I don't think so.
I think so.
No.
We've gotten you to choose him a few times.
No.
On deals?
No. I feel like I've only become more aggressive in my, over the last couple of weeks about things. Just because at this point, to be honest, like, I don't care. Like, this is the other thing. I said this on Twitter a couple of days, maybe it was yesterday. I forget if it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I was like, when I make ranks, there are so many people who make ranks and then they like change them and they want to make it so that like people like them. I'm like, I don't care. I just put them out. I just rank them how I rank them. And then people don't like them. They don't like them. People hated that I had Breece Hall at 11 in redraft, but I don't care. It doesn't matter to me at this point. What difference does it make? So, I haven't changed. And, if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. And then I'm sure people will come at me, but it doesn't matter. People will come at me for my voice, my long hair, and my nails more than any of my fantasy takes anyway. So, like, I'm not afraid. We're going to move on.
That's how you know they don't have anything else to go on, dude.
I do.
Keep crushing it.
My nails also look really good. They're sparkly.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
I did those myself. I was able to paint within the lines.
You need to
Very
go with Russ,
difficult for me. No, Russ doesn't do his own nails.
Yeah,
I went to go get my nails done with Russ. I still have the pedicure I got from that day because it's lasted for over a month.
All right, ready?
Let's go.
Kid Coop. Avery Williams made the team as a 4th-round running back. I think Atlanta plans to use him like they did Patterson last year as he ages out. Interesting. Could take over the 3rd down role.
Considering I've never heard of him before today, I'm a little skeptical.
Yeah, we had an Avery Williams question about 20 minutes ago. And neither one of us knew who he was.
I wonder why we haven't got to 150 yet. We've been talking about Diamy Brown, Avery Williams. Come on, guys. What are we doing here? Come on, chat. We got to get going here. Let's talk about some good stuff. Let's do it. Sean traded a 2023 first and a second for Barkley. What do you think?
Not good. Not good. I think you're going to regret that. And I'll be there to tell you I told you so.
Yeah, I'm the resident Barkley lover.
Maybe I should just go full villain. Maybe it's time for me to just go full villain. I think it might be time. I've always like danced the line on that hero villain type of thing, but I might have to do the full heel turn at some point because it's more fun. More fun when I'm mad and more fun when I'm angry. More fun when I'm savage, right? I mean, if I'm just yes, pick that player. Nobody likes that. Nobody's here for that.
Although for a little while, I'd like it if you just talk like that about every question. Like that would actually be kind of fun, probably.
Yes, definitely. Marlon Mack being cut from the Texans was very interesting. I really think that Damien Pierce now is gaining a lot of value. It's very exciting development.
Yeah, you want? Do people want an hour more of that? I don't think they want that. Nobody wants that.
Is this about the right price, Addison?
I think it's a little too much. The second might be a little too much. Like I would, if that first is late, then you kind of need to add the second. But if that first is top 6 or 7, that is about where Barkley is.
How do you know where the first is going to land, though? You can't be sure. It's a risk. It's risky. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to give up the first, because what if the first ends up being an early first, and then it's a big mistake when Barkley looks like crap again for might I add, the 4th straight year. I mean, Barkley since 2018.
Third.
No.
He was solid in 2019.
Really? Not for a lot of the time. What about the time where what about the ankle part? He missed time, and then there was the part where it took him a long time. It took many weeks to get back to looking good after that. Again, it took longer than it should have. So since 2018, he's played in more games where he's looked like garbage than he's looked good. Go look at the game logs. I mean, all of 2021 was basically garbage.
I'm not arguing the last 2 years. I'm
and also the first 2 years, the first 2 games of 2020, people he looked terrible. He looked terrible in both of them before he got hurt. It's not like he was off to a good start.
Maybe I like the other Tyler.
Yeah, you're not getting him back. So. It's this or nothing.
It's probably just the Penn State. We know how it is.
Well, Miles Sanders, I actually have many things to say about him.
That's all right.
And Allen Robinson, let's not forget about him. I have many things.
Yeah. Chris Godwin, though.
Ooh, now I like him.
All right.
He's going to be a big value. I think people who bought low on Chris Godwin are really, really going to be happy.
I don't know the reason to do this deal, Sean, is my biggest thing. Is like, why trade the first and second now? Like, it's not going to lose value. And wait till Barkley gets in. You see what it looks like when the season goes live. You know what I mean? Like, all we've heard is camp reports. I just wouldn't be buying in on this at this point.
Also, I think you can trade this for Breece Hall.
He's going to get that much more valuable than this at any point again. So I just don't. To me, this is just kind of wasted.
Trade it for Breece Hall, apparently who's the Jets' backup. Trade it for Breece Hall.
Love it.
Whatever.
All right. Peyton Hitchcock, Superflex, startup draft, non-tight premium, pick 104. Would you go JT, Jefferson, or a QB? Leaning a quarterback or Jefferson? What do you think?
Quarterback. Hey, take a quarterback. You want to make sure you start with a quarterback.
So it's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes,
Justin Herbert. So I'll take Kyler Murray.
I would take Lamar, but
no, I don't want to take Lamar. Because
I don't really have an issue with any. As long as you're taking a quarterback, I don't have an issue with any of the top.
No, I do have an issue with it because why hasn't Lamar negotiated the contract extension? It doesn't seem so good. The contract extension doesn't look like it's going to be negotiated in time, and the Ravens haven't really put a lot of weapons around. I mean, they traded away Hollywood Brown, and they didn't do anything, like nothing burger to replace him. Really, nothing. They think Isaiah Likely is a replacement.
Run more.
They're going to run more. Well, I mean, looks like their plan to me is to run more with Kenyon Drake and Mike Davis. Does that sound good? How did that go last year when they were running more?
They're going to run options, and Lamar's going to run.
Oh, boy. How much more is Lamar going to run, though? More than
Kyler Murray, especially after Call of Duty drops this year. So
sure, but Kyler Murray can throw for 4,700 yards. Lamar is never getting anywhere near there.
Nah, that's fair. Take a quarterback. I'm good.
Kyler Murray is an underrated passer, by the way. That's also, I think, something people forget. I think people forget that Kyler Murray is a good passer. People don't.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I would do that.
Just
got a lot of cash.
I think the only wrong answer here is to go running back. I just don't think you're going to do that with these guys on the board.
You'll never get the value back. Yeah,
I agree.
Let's see. Oh, hey, all right. Just again,
I'm sure you guys he did a super chat on my show for the same amount, saying the same thing. So I really do appreciate
Mark is your number one fan.
Yeah, that was actually the only super chat on my own show that I've ever had.
Mark,
to be fair, I don't think we can tell in the StreamYard, because this is simulcast on my YouTube. I don't think we can tell in the StreamYard where this is coming from.
No, we can't.
Not just by looking.
No, we can't.
All right. James Flatley needed to cut a player for my 12-team Dynasty League 1 QB full PPR. Start 8, but 3 are wide receiver. 1 is a flex. Do I drop Kyron Williams, Robert Woods, Jarvis Landry, Gage Boyd, or David Bell? I'm trying to figure out, does that mean 1 running back? He's starting 8? Or
I'm a little confused, but just generally, I do have Kyron Williams ranked the lowest of these players, but Kyron Williams really should be rostered in almost all Dynasty leagues. So this is kind of odd that you have to cut one of these players. I have Kyron Williams ranked inside my top 200.
This might be a 20 or 18.
If it's 20, Kyron Williams should be rostered in most of those. So yeah, you haven't, assuming this is unless this is like a 15 player roster, if it's like 20 or 24, then you haven't done a very good job of consolidating your roster over time because you shouldn't have this problem. I'm just saying. But I don't know. I don't know how many players you have.
It's Kyron for me, but I would be trying to move one of those wide receivers just for a pick or something. And
Landry, Gage. I mean, honestly, Landry, Gage, and Boyd are all the same to me.
Yes.
They're all roster cloggers. The difference between the three is that Landry is the oldest and has like no hope. The other two have more hope. You know, if Boyd would have value if something happened to Chase or Higgins, but won't otherwise. And Gage is kind of similar. Gage would have value if something happened to Evans or Godwin, but probably won't otherwise. Gage is younger, though.
Buy Apple Pie, 12-team Superflex. Give Cortland Sutton and Antonio Gibson and get Chris Godwin and Kareem Hunt.
Godwin and Hunt.
I'll take Godwin and Hunt. And I want Apple Pie now.
Also, if I put this poll on Twitter and I asked the people, who is a better wide receiver, Chris Godwin or Cortland Sutton, what percentage of the people would say the wrong answer? Because it's so obvious. I think more than half of people would say that Cortland Sutton is a better wide receiver than Chris Godwin, and those people are out of their minds.
You know what, Tyler? You have the ability. Let's see it.
I do, but I'm not going to do that because I have other things to do.
Well, fine.
But no, you do it, but I don't do Twitter.
My Twitter's already inflammatory.
I don't do Twitter stuff like that anymore. I'm retired from that.
Is it the better fantasy or better NFL?
No, better wide receiver. Who is the better wide receiver? Not in
NFL standards. Yes.
Yeah, who's the better NFL wide receiver, Chris Godwin or Cortland Sutton? It's so easily Chris Godwin. Cortland Sutton is nothing. I mean, even Cortland Sutton's best season wasn't that great. I mean, he was not even a top 25 wide receiver that year. I mean, I don't think people realize just how much better Chris Godwin is than Cortland Sutton.
I'll keep you all updated. I'll let it go.
Yeah. So yeah, no, Chris Godwin has averaged 10 more yards a game, a reception plus more a game, and more touchdowns. There's more of everything. And he doesn't have Cortland Sutton's abysmal 56.1% catch percentage, which a lot of which is his fault.
He also has had less of Drew Lock, which I think is
true.
Fun.
But there are some of these things are not all on Drew Lock.
Sure. But we did see Drew Lock just get beat out by Geno Smith. If that tells you a little bit about his,
I think we all know that.
How good he is. So I don't know. Like, I'm kind of coming around the idea that Cortland Sutton could be good. The one that worries me more is Judy. I haven't heard
anything about Judy.
Right. It just seems like all the reports are so, glowing and positive about Cortland Sutton. And I just don't feel like we're hearing anything about Judy at all.
You know what I think people should do? I think people should pick up Montreal Washington. I think that's what people should do.
Or
KJ Hamler is a big failure. It's a big failure. 2 years of failure, lots of failure. He's able to run fast in a straight line. That's all he can do. Other than that, I don't see it. So he wasn't so good in college. He really wasn't very good. And then he came into the NFL, was overdrafted by multiple rounds. And, he is nothing. I would look at Montreal Washington instead. I would much rather take him off of waivers than pay whatever I had to pay for KJ Hamler. Montreal Washington is getting a lot of camp hype. And if someone sees the field with Russell Wilson, they might have a chance to be good at some point. And this is the same Russell Wilson who's gotten fantasy value out of like David Moore at times, who is terrible, as we know.
Mark Kamen, 12-team Superflex tight end premium, traded Kyle Pitts for a 23 first and a 24 first, plus Breece Hall, plus Mike Gesicki.
What?
Holy moly.
Yeah, it's the first side with the first easily, but this is obscene. I'd rather have Hall in either first over Pitts.
This is why I say try to see what you can get for Kyle Pitts.
But I don't think you can get this kind of return in most leagues.
Sure, but it's not like like so many people are just kind of like, I have Kyle Pitts. I won Dynasty, never moving him for the next decade. But it's like, but this exists.
Yeah. But we could talk about Mike Gesicki. I actually feel like you actually hurt your team by taking Mike Gesicki onto it. He really where did
year for
Gesicki,
sure.
Well, but where did I actually forgotten it, Addison. Maybe you could remind me. Where did Mike Gesicki go to college?
Tyler. Just wait for Jahan Dotson to break out, all right? And Parker Washington's coming up.
He did go to Penn State. I actually did forget.
No, you didn't. 50 votes in. It's currently 78-22 Chris Godwin.
Maybe the people are smarter than I gave them credit for.
Jacob Rickroad said, who is picking Sutton?
There you go. I found out this week on Twitter that you can make people mad by telling people their ages, like people's ages, like just by stating that someone is older than someone else, like can be threatening to a human being on Twitter, apparently.
I think that we all know that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is younger than Isaiah Pacheco.
He's the youngest running back on Kansas City's roster.
I know.
Which is just insane to me.
They have, though, a big collection. No, I did some more research, and I've decided that they have 14 years of failure instead, because I've assigned Isaiah Pacheco's college career 4 years additional of failure because he's such a terrible prospect.
That's true. Pacheco is not a good prospect.
Really bad. Really bad. I did some review, and I knew it was bad, and I had looked at it in the past, so I didn't quite realize how bad. It's really bad. Wait, we didn't answer that one.
Oh,
Garrett.
Okay. John traded Pierce and Kyle Phillips for Garrett Wilson, and he is stoked.
I'll take Garrett Wilson. This is the kind of trade you should make. But apparently, I was told that in order to trade Pierce, he would need a first and Garrett Wilson. A first and a player like Garrett Wilson would be the return required to move Dameon Pierce. My response was, you show me the list of 4th round, day 3 and undrafted running backs careers. You tell me how their careers have gone. Try to come up with some that actually lasted for very long. There aren't many. No. Arian Foster is the big one.
Aaron Jones,
but I will say
Arian Foster, Chris Carson.
But see, like, if you sold Chris Carson for at any point in his career for the value of a 2023 first is, it would be the 2023 first. And Chris Carson is one of the best examples, one of the better ones. And he still would never have been worth what a 2023 first is worth. So it's really just Aaron Jones and Arian Foster that are well above that.
But I'm starting to believe that he could have a rookie season similar to James Robinson, just because if he were going to do that, this is what it would look like so far. And that is the part that makes me think, he could be league winner type player this year if that's true.
Well, I don't think there's going to be many league winners on the Texans, but I have Dameon Pierce.
The Jaguars were terrible that year.
Yeah, but I don't think that Dameon Pierce is going to be able to do that.
They cut Leonard Fournette right before the season starts.
But Dameon Pierce does not have the ability or the frame to take those. When did he do it in college? He didn't do that. He was not able to take a workhorse level of carries. I understand that there's no one else there, but you think he's going to take 80-90% of the work? I just don't think so.
Devonta Freeman found one.
Oh, so we're now 7 years ago.
I'm just.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Running through.
But there aren't many. It's a see how long it's taking Addison to find them. It's not a good sign.
I think he's replaceable and probably will be replaced next year. I'm just saying, I think along the way, it could be a fun ride this year.
Everyone can say he's going to be this, he's going to be that, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. I have him ranked at RB25 in redraft. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
That's what round fair.
Redraft, what round would you take him?
Well, I don't do a lot of redraft. So thinking in redraft rounds is less my thing. But, RB25, right ahead of him is Elijah Mitchell and AJ Dillon. Right behind him is Rashad Penny and Kareem Hunt. How's that sound?
The only other two names I found that were even remotely worth mentioning are Jay Ajayi and Lamar Miller.
I do not think Jay Ajayi was worth the 2023 first in value. Oh, no, there was
That one,
He
that
was
one year
worth
he
it
had, like, 3
incorrectly.
or 4 200-yard games.
Yeah, he was worth it incorrectly. Jay Ajayi is one of the players I always have a soft spot for.
And then
I
Elijah
do
Mitchell.
think you named a
So.
few.
Marlon Mack
named-
had 1 year.
You named a couple of Texans there, ironically. Lamar Miller, Arian Foster.
Well, Lamar Miller was
But
not.
the problem
drafted
is that he's not Arian Foster though.
Those kind of things don't happen very often anymore.
No,
Scouting has become better.
If he is Chris Carson, selling for any first right now makes so much sense.
Of course.
I just think that Damien Pierce, let's be realistic, in terms of value, in terms of talent, probably we were wrong in terms of his talent, what we thought of it originally, and his talent level is similar to Michael Carter. And what's Michael Carter worth now? Nothing.
They have multiple first and second.
Realistically, just forget the situation, forget everything else. Who do you think is a better player, Damien Pierce or Michael Carter? If you switch them, if you switch them and put Michael Carter in this situation, they have the same draft capital. If you switch them and put Michael Carter in this situation on the Texans, would you like him more or less than Damien Pierce now? Probably like him more. So if that's how good I think Damien Pierce is,
I thought Michael Carter was a really good prospect too. So that
I think Michael Carter was just okay. What was fine. Was fine.
Yeah,
and I
really
guess
good was overstated.
Damien Pierce, I think, was underrated as a prospect, clearly, because he's obviously been a lot better than his prospect profile dictates. But I still think Michael Carter was a pretty good player who had a pretty good rookie year, and he was just reduced to dust. The same thing could happen to Damien Pierce.
Yep.
He could be a good player who has a pretty good rookie year and then is reduced to dust.
Let's see. Ed and James going back and forth. We'll move on here to James. One player with the roster limit can't, and I'm forced to drop someone if I can.
So it would be Kyron. If this is the Kyron question, it would be Kyron, but you know, like I said.
Pierce for 24 first is a popular trade. I just thought
No, I think we're past that. I think that was before Marlon Mack was cut.
I'd take a 2025 first, bro. Like
that's too far. I don't think I would go that far.
I'd take it.
I'd still take a 2024, I guess. In a super flex, I'd take it. And a 1 QB, it's not that appealing.
I would take it.
Probably still take it, but it's
anything with a 1 in front of it.
I'd try to push for a 2023 though at this point.
I think you can get a 23 first.
That's why I would try to push for it if I think I can get it.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey guys, Robbie Anderson, Odell Beckham, Brian Edwards. I don't know who's this?
Eric Ezukanma. He's on the Dolphins. He's actually had a really good camp.
Okay. Julio Jones, Zay Jones, who else does the Jaguars have right now?
No, Zay Jones actually gained a lot of value from all of those moves.
Yes, he did. Zay Jones. Yeah.
Like I'm kind of in. This would be an amazing story. Like I'm pushing for that. Like I'm rooting for you,
either Zay Jones, at least one of Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, or Evan Ingram is going to be relevant this year. One of those three. I think it's going to be Zay Jones.
Or 2, and Christian Kirk is not.
Given
Less
the way,
likely, but sure.
Given the target share, utilization, and what they've done in camp, that is very unlikely.
Yeah.
They've made it obvious that Christian Kirk is their one, and their unquestioned one.
So to finish the question, Quez Watkins and Westbrook Ikini?
So there's 8 players here, right? So essentially you could say, who are the 2 that you're keeping out of this, and everybody else.
2 I'm keeping.
Right, so
I'll keep
Zay Jones for sure.
Zay Jones and OBJ.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go that way.
Julio's the only other person in consideration.
I considered keeping. I mean, to be fair, I have. Yeah, I kind of like Brian Edwards too. To be fair,
Jesus,
they cut everyone else.
How many times are we gonna do that?
A lot.
I mean, I was in for sure when he was a rookie, but like
they cut everyone else. So I mean, he's their wide receiver 2, and they have nobody else.
Do you remember last year when he sat like the 3rd preseason game and everybody was like, yeah, he doesn't need any work. He's good.
Yeah.
I guess I would every other game after that. When he just didn't know it was a sign.
He just went out on the field and ran.
I'd like to find a way
for a while.
I'd like to find a way to keep more than 2 of these, but if you can't.
Julio would be my 3rd for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is good. Like Quez, Azukama, and Westbrook are all.
And Anderson too. Anderson is dead
even
to me
Robbie is just all.
After they traded for Visca, I don't have any interest in Anderson.
Yeah, they're like those are all so easy.
Could I play Julio at tight end? Like, can we figure that out? Can we get somebody?
What if Julio Jones isn't washed? And
I don't necessarily know if he is. Every single time that he was on the field with the Titans last year, like he still looked and produced fairly well. Like he's not Julio, but like 70% Julio is still better than like 2/3 of the league.
You know what's crazy? People always say it's crazy that I have Mike Evans at wide receiver 16 in redraft, but if the redraft process started now with knowing that Chris Godwin is going to play week 1, knowing that Julio Jones is on the team, that's where Mike Evans would be ranked. The problem is that the redraft process started before Chris Godwin was going to play and before Julio Jones was on the team. So people have Mike Evans locked in at like 7 or 8, and they've been slow to move him down.
Okay. Spock says Kyler plus Garrett Wilson or Justin Jefferson plus Elijah Moore. 12-team Superflex, full PPR, 6 point per quarterback touchdown. I guess that's whether it's rushing
it's still
or receiving.
Kyler.
It's
still Kyler, but it's close. It's still Kyler for me.
Yep.
Gosh. Yeah. It has to be.
Yep.
Who are you not touching with a 10-foot pole? Who would you not draft for your with someone else's team?
This is a fantastic question.
I gotta pull.
Am I just not drafting? Period.
Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, I mean he was up there.
Maybe Michael Thomas.
Can't see myself drafting Allen Robinson or Adam Thielen.
Robinson at his price, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Adam Thielen is another one. I just can't see myself getting there. It's usually gonna be old guys for me.
Well, we know Saquon's one of yours.
Saquon, yeah.
Why is DJ Chark valued ahead of David Bell?
I don't have them very far apart.
Trevor Lawrence
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
For you, Addison?
Maybe at his price, sure. I don't say with a 10-foot pole. Maybe a 3-foot pole.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford.
I was literally about to say Trevor Lawrence is valued ahead of Matthew Stafford in ADP, and I take Stafford.
I have Trevor Lawrence way higher than Matthew Stafford.
I will say it's been very fun to watch Trevor Lawrence slowly fall down and Tua Tagovailoa slowly rise up. So that's been a fun. I was ahead of the curve 3 months ago.
Zach Wilson,
James Cook.
Oh, I'm in on James Cook.
I made a video about him.
Yeah.
Yep. No chance I pay the price it takes to get him.
The hype's kind of died down.
Cheap. Yeah, he's relatively cheap.
Mike Gesicki.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't want him.
Really truther. My peoples, who's one wide receiver and running back, you're not going to be shocked. Make a jump into the top 10 startup territory next year. Okay, predict the next year's
predict
top
the future.
Jump. Yeah,
Jerry Jeudy.
Well, that's literally almost impossible.
One of the Broncos wide receivers.
Drake London.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
AJ Dillon.
Yeah, sure. Travis Etienne might already be there, but
he's freaking close. I wouldn't really be shocked if Kenneth Walker made it either. I don't think he will.
Yeah, I used to think that more,
but I wouldn't really be shocked.
Damian Pierce would be funny, but I don't. With his draft capital, I think that's almost
Elijah
impossible.
Moore.
Elijah Moore is a good one. I'm on Ra. If Jameson Williams never comes back and he just becomes better than he was last year, could happen.
I like it.
He's another one whose draft capital could have always hurt him, though.
At wide receiver, it matters less. At wide receiver, it matters less than it does
Found
at
it.
running back.
Winner. All right, we can move on.
George Pickens, of course.
Oh, AJ Green.
AJ Green.
The next AJ Green. George Pickens.
George Pickens.
Next AJ.
Yeah, no, George Pickens is another one on my list.
The thing is, like, there's a lot of these guys. So, all right, I want to spend like a second here. Tell me which one of these guys you think is not going to be in the top 10 next year. 27-year-old Christian McCaffrey.
That depends on how well he does. If he's
that
Christian
is very
McCaffrey,
dependent.
he'll be in the top 10. If
Yes,
he's
for
not,
sure.
then he won't be.
28-year-old Austin Eckler.
He won't be.
No.
Unequivocally, I would say Austin Eckler will not be.
Yes. Derrick Henry is like outside the top 12.
Yeah. So Austin Eckler, I can say unequivocally will not be in the top 10.
Yes.
28-year-old Dalvin Cook.
Again, same as Austin Eckler. He unequivocally will not be.
27-year-old Joe Mixon, who's RB10 right now.
I would say that Joe Mixon, he does have that 1 year of age, but unless he's better than he's been in the past, for him to be in the top 10, he would have to have a season better than any he's ever had. And I'm going to say that doesn't happen. So I'm going to say also no.
I could see him staying at 10 or 11. Just like riding that edge.
I'm going to say no.
Similar to Kamara this year, maybe.
Well, Kamara's dropped, but yeah.
Dropped. Yeah, I'm going to say no for Mixon.
The problem, especially with running backs, is that all these players are aging out. The young guys are just kind of getting vaulted up, and then we're going to have like probably 3 running backs jump into the top 15 next year in next year's class.
Yeah.
Like Bijan's going immediately ahead of all of them. He's probably going to be top 5 off the rip.
He
probably have a couple more after that. So
30-year-old Cooper Kupp.
I'm gonna say
I could see it. I still
could
think
see
he
it,
will
but
be.
I could see it. Antonio Brown did it.
Yes.
20.
So it is possible.
And Devontae Adams is still currently doing it. So
I don't have him in there, but he is.
Yeah.
29-year-old Stephon Diggs.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no on Diggs.
I think he will be. I think it's Debo who more likely falls out than Diggs.
Ooh, 27.5-year-old Debo.
Yes.
Maybe.
Is that because you think like Ayuk and some others like take a step, or do you think?
Yeah, I think he kind of just drops back a little bit, and people kind of see him more as a one-year wonder. Whereas I think Stephon Diggs, I don't really think anything's going to happen with Stephon Diggs. He's going to have like another 1,408 or 9 season, I think.
I mean, I think the candidates to move in are pretty obvious. It's Michael Pittman, Elijah Moore, Drake London.
Chris Godwin could maybe get back into there.
Could get back in there if he's healthy.
One of the Broncos receivers.
Yeah, I don't think either one.
Maybe DJ Moore if he has like the career year.
Yeah.
Treylon Burks.
No.
Okay. DK Metcalf get back in there. I think if their quarterback situation opens up or he produces better.
Yeah. If he produces decent this year and then the quarterback situation gets fixed, he could get back in there.
Right. Like I think Debo's gone. Devontae Adams is gone. Diggs could be really close. He could be like where Tyreek is right now. And I think that would be purely because of age, not because of anything that Diggs actually does.
So I know we said this, like you guys probably covered this a ton already, but I think the Texans very clearly believe in him. And
for now they believe in him.
I think that's, even if you're the biggest doubter in the world, like at some point the people who doubted James Robinson like looked pretty foolish, right? Like at some point you have to be willing to say like, okay, the team's clearing room and making room.
But then they still drafted another first-round running back.
They drafted
before his second year.
Absolutely. But like you still got a lot of production between now and then, and you could have sold James Robinson.
But if Travis Etienne doesn't get hurt, as a rookie, that production doesn't happen. Or
his rookie year still happens. His rookie year still happens.
The rookie year you get, but all of these players have been
years yet. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like
we haven't gotten that yet. We don't know if we're gonna get it. He has to actually do it. You can get a lot of hype, but then you have to do it. You have to perform. He hasn't done that yet.
Still don't believe that Elijah Mitchell is like a thing. You know,
no, that's true. Yes,
I'm becoming more and more skeptical, by the way, because he has a hamstring injury right now. They kept 5 running backs, 5 tailbacks, and a fullback. 5 tailbacks and a fullback on their final roster.
Cutting the juice, so
right. So what do you really think they're going to go into the season legitimately with 5 tailbacks? I'm highly concerned that Elijah Mitchell is going to be placed on IR. Because why would you keep 5 tailbacks? Jordan Mason.
Oh, okay.
Why? No, they're not going to go into the season with 5 tailbacks. So something is going to change. Elijah Mitchell is not participating in anything right now. Kyle Shanahan said, we hope he's ready for week 1. We think he'll be ready it wasn't he'll be ready. It was we hope. I am concerned because Elijah Mitchell, if he misses time, and we know that it's Trey Sermon, Jeff Wilson, they're not going to take the job from him. We know Kyle Shanahan doesn't like them. Tyrion Davis-Price, though, we don't know. We don't know what Kyle Shanahan thinks about him. We know that he drafted him in the 3rd round. We know that. If Elijah Mitchell misses time and Tyrion Davis-Price looks good, I don't think it's a given that Elijah Mitchell just gets handed the job back. That's the thing. I think it was a given before. This is why things have changed since Tyrion Davis-Price was drafted. Because we know Elijah Mitchell was better than the other guys. We know that they weren't going to go back to Trey Sermon. But this is a new player. A new player has been introduced. So that could change things.
He still hasn't beat out Jeff Wilson, though.
I know. We keep forgetting about Jeff Wilson. Like, he's probably he needs to be rostered. Like, he could end up
100%.
Well, if they're going to have all these tailbacks, then no, because you're only be able to start Jeff Wilson if everyone else is hurt.
I think
it's the only time you've ever been able to start Jeff Wilson, by the way, is when he's the old, and he's done very well. But the only time you've ever been able to start him is when he's the only one, the last man standing.
I think if Mitchell's hurt, he's going to start.
Yeah, it's Wilson's job as the RB2, I think, because Wilson was the guy whenever Hasty and Sermon were both healthy last year, and Elijah Mitchell was out.
Right, but that was last year,
right. And he did the same thing 2 years ago.
Before they had Davis Price. Yeah, I think that Davis Price would be. We don't know that. We don't know that. You didn't know last year. The time that you found out that Elijah Mitchell was the guy behind Raheem Mostert
when he got healthy.
No. You found out that Elijah Mitchell was actually Raheem Mostert's backup when Raheem Mostert when Trey Sermon was ruled inactive for week 1. That's when you found out.
Yep.
But you didn't find that out until then. We didn't know. They didn't tell us anything. Nothing. All we heard is that Trey Sermon was good all camp. And then boom, he's inactive from week 1.
Yeah, Mitchell sat out a lot of camp last year.
That's why we can't believe anything that Kyle Shanahan says.
I think you can.
He hasn't said. Well, all he said is that Mitchell may or may not return for week 1. So we'll see what we can do with that.
Is there a Weird Al movie? Did I miss that?
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. I was talking about Elvis.
Okay. Yeah, he watched the Elvis movie, and then I said, I asked if he saw the Weird Al trailer.
I was talking about how I don't want to become like Elvis.
I made him promise that if he starts taking drugs in the bathroom.
Yeah, no, yelling at the management, yelling at my management, yelling at my co-stars, taking drugs in the bathroom. I don't want to go down that path.
I'm ready for a Weird Al movie.
Same.
Gary Harmon Jr., I need to cut a player from my roster in an 8-team dynasty after our draft. Top cut candidates are Calvin Ridley, Alexander Mattison, or Melgo. Trades just not happening. Which one goes?
Melvin Gordon, I guess. If this is it, it's Melvin Gordon.
I think so.
Yeah.
Man.
To me, oh gosh. Does the Alexander Mattison, does them talking about him being on the trade block, what does that say to you? Because to me, it kind of says that maybe this new regime doesn't like him as much as the old one did.
It says that I don't want to trade. I don't want to cut him in case he gets traded to somewhere then suddenly has more value. I don't want to cut him now. I want to hang on to him just in case because I might have a better sell window later. Melvin Gordon is finished for a dynasty value wise.
Right.
So if I have to, 2 of these 3 players are going to have a better sell window later, and one is not. So right. I'll cut the one who's not going to.
Right.
And Melvin Gordon.
Did you see this report that there was a street gang like targeting Calvin Ridley?
Yes, I did. That was
what the heck is that
wild.
About?
How is that his fault?
I didn't say
it's just wild that's just what's going on down in Atlanta.
It just
clearly
like
they didn't know that Calvin Ridley doesn't have any money because he's not playing in the NFL and he's losing all his money betting on the Falcons. So
yeah, it's an interesting story. Finding something interesting is not making a proclamation or opinion about it.
I just feel like I feel like I only bring that up because I did see people somehow on Twitter blaming him for that. Like that was his fault.
Well, that's dumb.
I agree with you.
Make sure that you like the video. That's the point here from Really Truther. Appreciate you saying
Yeah,
that.
Addison will get his wings.
Sean, what do you think is fair value for Cam Akers?
Well, it's a lot less than it was a week ago.
I don't think anybody's buying. I think that's kind of the problem.
I think it's
right
hold
now.
and pray at this point.
I think if you can trade Dameon Pierce for a first, you should still be able to get Cam Akers for a first.
Oh wait, that's a great idea. Yeah, why don't you trade Dameon Pierce for Cam Akers?
Oh, boom, money. We're in.
That's a great idea. I think I've solved the problem.
All right, there you go. Don't do the other way though.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I have 0 shares to sell. I'm so aggravated that I drafted no Damien.
0 as well.
I'm not aggravated.
I blame Addison for making me not like him and not.
Well, I do. I also blame Addison. It's not Addison's fault, but
right.
I've decided that I'm going to blame Addison.
Me too.
I'll take it.
Exactly.
I'll shoulder.
Order 66, 12 teams, Superflex, 1 tight end premium. Does that mean? It says 1.0. I'm not sure if that's an.
Might be a half
2.
PPR.
It means 2, I think.
Or it's a half PPR.
1 more.
Still here. Stupid camera. I haven't fixed that yet. I'll get it. Start 12. Kittle, Lance, and a 23. Second for Mark Andrews, Higgins, and Malik Willis.
Okay.
Future of
interesting.
Oh,
So yeah,
man.
the second and Willis is coming on a little bit.
Yes, he is.
It was actually a difficult one. I do really like Andrews. I mean, Andrews in this format is worth more than Lance. I think I'll lean. Oh, this is very
This
close.
is very hard.
This is very close.
I want Lance.
I think I'm going to lean that way as well, but it is very close.
I started out that way, but then I kept looking at it, and I'm just like, do I want Andrews and Higgins? But Lance is the only quarterback that I want in this deal.
Yeah, I'm going to lean that way.
I think it's Lance.
Well, and in a tight end premium, you get Kittle as well. I mean, that's
true.
So that's good. Eric's 3-month-old recently stopped taking a bottle. Any help from Cal appreciated? I think he's distracted because he just smiles at me and he doesn't feed. I think they get like distracted when they start learning new things. Like that to me is like they start discovering the world and everything is brand new, which is awesome. And I think, patience is probably the best virtue in those situations.
Did we do this?
They get hungry.
Sorry, I know.
Joey, what's up, bro?
I'm supposed to be keeping track of this.
We didn't do this.
My bad. Mitchell and Davis Price for a 24 first, or should I wait or do Edmonds for a second? Well, I don't know if it's either or, but I'd just take the 24 first.
I take the 24 first and Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, I think so.
Have you come down on Mitchell, huh?
A lot. It just
Who? Either of us?
me.
Addison was in.
I'm taking any first over Elijah Mitchell. And the problem isn't because of Elijah Mitchell, it's because of the community. The community is never going to value Elijah Mitchell highly because he was a late day 3 pick. They don't trust Kyle Shanahan. And if Elijah Mitchell is injury prone and maybe Tyrion Davis Price is kind of a thing to cut into him,
I have a good idea.
There's so much negative on him that's not even really just about Elijah Mitchell that I just want the first.
Why don't you trade Dameon Pierce for Elijah Mitchell, Tyrion Davis Price, and a second?
I'm in.
Yeah.
These are all fantastic recommendations. I love this.
Well, so there you go.
Take the 24 first and Chase Edmonds. Thank you, Joey.
Yeah. Yeah. If I have Chase Edmonds, a second is no longer enough. I would like at least a second and a third. Minimum.
I have one more thing to say about this. If he's just smiling, it's okay. They'll get hungry and they'll eat. If they're smiling, fine. Don't worry about it. Don't wait. Like we would wake up our first to feed him, and then by the second one, we were like, that was stupid. Why would we wake up a sleeping baby to feed them? That's dumb.
It does kind of sound dumb. Not gonna lie.
Open 24 hours. Hey now, homies. Welcome back, Tyler.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I didn't come back, I was going to get Wally pipped.
This has been time was I think it was about Diamy Brown, if I remember correctly.
It's been time.
It's only been 1 year. 1 damn year. But yes, I'm done with Diamy Brown.
That's a bad year.
It was very bad.
Isley, would you trade Brees and a 23 mid-second for Pierce and Pittman?
No.
I cannot imagine you're going to present me with should I trade X for Dameon Pierce? And I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Given the offers I've seen. So this is a hard no for me.
Dameon Pierce or Saquon Barkley?
I'll take Saquon Barkley.
Dameon Pierce or Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Dameon Pierce.
Dameon Pierce.
Yeah. Clyde Edwards failure. They kept 14 years of failure in that backfield. I mean, how many years of failure can we give to Jerick McKinnon?
We usually have hope for the young guy in the running back room. Usually.
Rojo is also young too. Is Rojo younger than Pacheco?
No, Rojo's 97.
Older. He's 2 years older.
Yeah, August.
I feel like
97.
he was one of those guys that just came into the league when he was like 20 years old. But I guess he's been in the league for 4 or 5 years. So
what's Rojo? August
team.
August 11th, 1997 or something.
Fact check.
I'm older than
Ed,
Where are the fact checkers? We need the fact checkers. All right, what's
the minimum you would take to get rid of Saquon?
23 first.
Yeah, 23 first. But that's not the kind of trade I'm going to look for. That's probably not my first choice, and you might not even get that. But if I have Saquon Barkley, I'd probably be looking at the wide receiver position. I'd be looking, can I get Drake London plus? Can I get like Drake London in a second? Can I get Michael Pittman? Michael Pittman in a second, I probably can't get. But can I get Drake London in a second? Could I get Elijah Moore in a second? Can I do one of those two? How about something
DJ
like
Moore
that?
in a second?
I don't think so. There's been the Panthers buzz hype has been a little more positive lately. I don't think you can get DJ Moore.
Would you trade Saquon for Tyreek? If that's the best that you're getting, you're not getting any first.
Because
all those other wide receivers are done.
No, because even though I have Tyreek ranked higher, I think that Saquon carries more market value. I think, and Tyreek is unpopular on the market. Clearly, I think you can get more for Saquon Barkley than that.
Interesting.
And that's just taking me from one asset I don't want into another asset I don't want.
Sean traded JJ for Kyler and Sutton.
Oh, love it.
All teams.
I love it. Great job. Then you can flip Sutton for someone who you actually want.
Do you ever decline because you want? No.
Okay. Is this controversial to say that I don't care about player shares?
About diversity in portfolios?
Yeah, like in portfolios, why would I care? I don't like, it's something I don't get. Like,
to be fair though, Tyler, you and I only play in like 2 or 3 dynasty
leagues. It doesn't matter.
So
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I played in 50 leagues, nothing would change. Like, I don't get it. Why wouldn't you want to just make the best decisions every time? Why would you need to diversify to reduce risk? If you reduce risk, people always say, oh, I want to reduce risk. But what those people don't say in that same sentence is the other half of that sentence is they want to reduce risk, but they also reduce reward. That's how it works. That's the other half of the sentence that I never, ever hear come out of their mouths. Ever. They never say it, but that's actually what they're saying, right? If you think about it, it's how like investing works, right? A more risky investment is going to come with a higher return, a higher rate of return. So I just don't understand. If the overall expected value is higher, why not do it? I mean, let's be realistic. If you're playing fantasy football with money you can't afford to lose, you probably shouldn't be doing that, right? So if this is all just right, you probably shouldn't be. So if it's all just money for a hobby, then why not just take the highest risk for the highest reward? I don't get the portfolio players discussion around this topic. It makes no sense. And they always frame it in the best way for their argument and never, ever mention the other part, which is that it reduces your potential return if you do hit on the players that you allegedly believe. But they never say that. Never, ever, ever. So, yeah, no, this is a pet peeve of mine. I hate it.
I get it for best ball. When people are like 1,000 best ball league players and stuff, I get it.
I only get it if people are playing with money they really can't afford. Like, if you're thinking about it that way, if this money has like a monetary importance to you, like importance
like
to
it's
your
your
life,
like job.
I get it. But like, if this is just a hobby, like most hobbies, you don't get the opportunity to have a return. Most hobbies are just money in and that money's gone. So in this one, you actually have an opportunity to potentially make a profit. But again, I don't understand why you wouldn't just go for the highest reward. So that's just my opinion. I don't get it. I've never gotten it. And I always tell any of my patrons or anyone who asks me, just make the best decisions. Don't worry about player shares.
Yeah.
The only reason I would ever worry about player shares is if it's more fun for you to have certain shares. If you enjoy having more shares of different players on your team and that adds to your idea of fun, go for it, because I want you to have fun. It's your teams. But if you think it's some method of like making additional profit and you want to do it for that way, it's not. So just don't do it.
So
my take.
The only place I think I'd be okay with this is in situations where you think two players are just very similar, like in the same tier.
But you always prefer one. You always prefer one. I don't have players who are valued the same. I always have a preference.
Is this like a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson thing?
But I have a preference.
I have 7 Jamar
absolutely.
Chases and I have 2 Justin Jeffersons. So why not make it 5-5?
I just don't care. I prefer Jamar Chase, and I would take Jamar Chase every time.
Yeah.
So I
totally get it too, Sean. I think
mind.
if you want an answer on the opposite side, I would see if you could find. They're so sporadic when they actually do, but when they do stream, they're fantastic. Manic and Chill, Scott Connor, and Shane Manila. These guys are fantastic. They'll talk theory until you're
just as fiery they're just as fiery as me, but and
they're fantastic. And Scott plays in like 100 Dynasty leagues and is totally like the diversify your player share and ownership and rostership and all that kind of stuff. So if you want the opposite opinion and maybe a different answer than this from their perspective of people who care about diversification, I would recommend checking them out next time they're live, or I'm sure they might answer on Twitter or something like that.
But for me, this is the answer I gave is the only answer I'll ever give.
I agree. I don't get the diversification either.
Adam Backer, 12 teams. Superflex start 2 tight end. I traded Rodgers, Sky Moore, and 23 first for Javonte Cousins and Devontae Parker. The main point for me was getting younger at quarterback, and getting Javonte obviously is nice.
Good move. Yeah, I'll take the Javonte side. It's worth more.
The getting younger at quarterback was an interesting because you went from a late 30s quarterback to a mid 30s quarterback.
Yeah, I'll still take the Javonte side though. I think Javonte's worth more than that.
Yes.
Contending team with weak RB2 and PPR, roll with Damian Pierce or try to sell for a more proven asset.
Cam Akers.
Yeah, try to sell for Cam Akers.
Cam Akers. I would take J.K. Dobbins. Are you still taking J.K. Dobbins, Tyler? I know you don't like him, but you
absolutely.
Would take him. Okay. Would you take Kenneth Walker?
Yeah.
David
would you trade him for? Ooh. I'll
take David Montgomery.
Would you still trade him for Aaron Jones if you need the production?
Not anymore.
You know what? On a contending team, I might try to flip him for Leonard Fournette.
My opportunity cost is better. I'd rather trade him for the 2023 first I know I can get him than trade the 2023 first for something else.
Would you trade
Aaron Jones and and even David Montgomery to a degree fall below that line?
Would you trade Pierce for Dylan?
Ooh. Yeah, I would, because I think that Dylan actually has value upside that Jones doesn't have.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I believe in Dylan a lot more than Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, you're going to lose the production immediately, and people are going to be like, "LOL, you traded Dameon Pierce."
No, I still have Dylan ranked higher in redraft than Pierce, so I don't think you're losing the production immediately. So I disagree.
Yes, I mean, I hope that's the case as well, but people are going to laugh at you.
I don't think they will. They're not going to be laughing so hard. They won't be laughing so hard when they see what the workload in Green Bay actually looks like.
I'm all here for it.
Jay drafted Damian Harris with the 3rd overall pick. Is that
sorry about that
rookie pick, which is still bad?
It's not good no matter what. Sorry.
If this isn't a startup, that's even like way worse.
Yeah.
Let's see. He's gonna resign to the Ravens. Let's be real. What was that?
Lamar.
Yeah, that was Lamar Jackson.
Let's see.
I saw Ed said 40%. Yeah, I was just looking. 176 votes, 80-20 Godwin.
Okay. Twitter's smarter than I thought. It's rare I ever say that.
I agree, especially for my day-to-day. Jesus.
Yeah. People love to bash you.
That's right. I make it easy for them.
You know what's crazy? As much hate as I get, I feel like people hate on the two of you even more. It's because with me, you only get one shot, to be fair. You only get one shot. And then that's it.
Oh, man. People were so upset about my... All I said was Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a month younger than Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, why? That's interesting. I don't know why that got so much hate. In this trade, this Dobbins, Devonta Smith in 23 first for Swift in 24 second, I'll take the Dobbins side.
Okay. Oh, you answered this question already?
I will take the Dobbins
side. Yeah, I answered it.
Yes.
Giving up a 23 first with Devonta Smith and Dobbins to go to Swift. This is not how I manage my dynasty assets. So I'm not doing that. I'll take the package with the first.
14
the first. You do realize he went to Rutgers, right? You said nothing about Pacheco.
That has nothing to do with anything.
You do realize he went to Rutgers, right? Rutgers didn't have a lot of talent.
It's like they're threatened by that comment somehow. Like his age, I don't know. It was weird to me. I just thought it was an interesting, funny comment or funny fact that I found,
Yeah. I had one too that also got hate like that, where I said somebody was 20 months younger than another player that got like a lot of similar kind of hate on that too. And then my favorite comeback that I had on the guy was somebody said, so he's 2 years younger, LOL. And I said, 2 years is 24 months. So factually, that is incorrect.
Yeah.
By Apple Pie, 14 team Superflex PPR, give Zamir White and a 23 third. Get Chase Edmonds and a 23 fourth.
Oh, Edmonds, easy.
Edmonds, absolutely.
I don't want to, but I guess if I had to.
Edmonds.
Eric says, throw Addison a bone and talk about how nice Penn State alum Pat Fryermuth looks.
You want me to do that?
There we go.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, tell me how awesome Pat Fryermuth is.
Sure. I think that he is a beautiful hunk of a man. Next question.
Eddie T, happy Taco Tuesday, guys. Which side for you all here in a 10-team Superflex half tight end premium? Pitts and Gibson or Javonte, DJ Moore, and Fant?
Ooh, that's tough.
Javonte.
I'll take Javonte as well. Yeah, Javonte's not that far behind Pitts.
See what you can get for Javonte.
This one is not the like I'm dying over it as the last one. But this one is still pretty good.
The last one was horrible. But this is what I mean by when I say,
because I'd rather have Gibson over Fant. So it's Javonte, DJ Moore for like Pitts and like a third worth of value. So it's we're not talking about a smash accept.
Right. It's pretty
I'll
close.
lean, like I'm just barely leaning the Javonte side. If
I think it's closer than y'all are making it out.
No, I'm making it out to be close. I'm just, I like to give an unequivocal answer unless I'm really not sure. And I'm sure I would which side I would take, but just how sure I am doesn't always dictate how close I think it is. And I do think this is close. But I'm, just looking at my ranks, given what my ranks are, I pretty much have to be on the Javonte side.
Isley, 10-team Superflex has Mahomes, Kyler, Fields, and Baker. Traded Fields in a 23 mid-second for Winston and a 23 mid-first.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in a 10-team Superflex, I'm just not in on the quarterback values, mid-quarterback values in a 10-team Superflex. 10-team Superflex, I seem to end up with the low quarterbacks and the really high ones, but the middle ones, I tend to be off on the value from others. So I'll take the first, the first here.
I'd do it in 12-team as well.
In a 12-team Superflex, I think I would need more for Fields.
I like it overall.
But in a 10-team Superflex, I'll just also remember a first in a 10-team is you remove the two worst outcomes.
Right.
So
yeah, you're
the first is worth more.
right.
So I will take, in this case, I'll definitely take the first. But in a 12 team, I would take the other side. I would need more.
Fantasy Condo traded Gabriel Davis and his 22nd for Mike Williams on a win now build. 10-team Superflex half PPR.
I just don't see. I mean, Gabe Davis is a lot younger than Mike Williams, and both have a lot of potential this season. I would just take the Davis side with the 23 third, the 23 second. I would have to take that side. So I think you made a mistake.
I'm taking the Gabe Davis side.
I do prefer Mike Williams. I have Mike Williams ranked higher, but I don't think the difference is a whole second. So Davis side.
I just don't feel like Williams would ever be my target here.
I'm agreeing with you on that. If I were going to trade
Sutton, I would take Sutton.
Still, that's like right on the line. It's like right on the line for who I would take. I think if you go up a couple more, like if it's
Marquise
I'm
Brown,
getting who?
Hollywood Brown.
Oh yeah. If it's Hollywood Brown, I'll take Hollywood Brown. But I believe in Hollywood Brown.
It's a lot safer. Gabriel Davis
Sutton
is Mike Williams, right?
Like
he's
believe
the
it.
wide receiver too.
I have Cortland Sutton in redraft at wide receiver
quarterback in the league.
25. Not a fan. Mike Williams at 21. Well, I love Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra is far better than either of these two players. Much more talented than either one.
So you're saying Marlon Mack goes to Kansas City then?
No, in all seriousness, I think that Sony Michel could go to the Texans to take the spot that Marlon Mack vacated. And I think Marlon Mack, the spots that make sense are the Commanders and the Eagles. The Eagles cut Kennedy Brooks. So they have a spot for like a early down back. Because I don't think Boston Scott is it. And Miles Sanders is still not healthy. So
they used Jordan Howard a decent amount last year. So I could see them going.
Yeah, no, I think the Eagles and the Commanders are the spots for backs.
Steelers.
Do you know who was singing high praise anytime they put a microphone in front of him about Sony Michel? What coach?
Nick Sirianni.
His former offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels.
So he's going to sign with
the
Raiders?
No,
I don't think so. Now they have Zamir White. They have another version of Sony Michel.
It's true.
They already have Sony Michel, though. They don't need him.
Casey needs to Voltron. Cal can explain the 80s reference later. Those backs into one usable starter.
The Eagles and the Commanders have literally the Sony Michel role. Goal line and nothing else. Goal line, a couple carries in the 20s and nothing else is available on those two teams. I think the Steelers are more likely to sign Mack than Michel.
I'll take either.
Damian Pierce cash out in 12 teams. Superflex for Addison's boy, Wandale. Zach Wilson, Irv Smith, Damian Pierce for Wandale Robinson, and Trevor Lawrence. Hype for Pierce is strong.
It's easily Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, you're making this trade for Trevor Lawrence, not so much for Wandale.
He asked me this
getting
before the Pierce hype, but I'll still take Trevor Lawrence. I would take Trevor Lawrence if Wandale Robinson were on the other side.
I was going to say, I think I would do it even if Wandale wasn't involved in this, but yeah.
I take Trevor Lawrence. I don't want Zach Wilson at all. At all. Zach Wilson is no good. You guys said I was crazy when I wanted Mac Jones over Zach Wilson like 2 months ago. And Zach Wilson is...
It doesn't look good for Mac Jones right now either.
Sure, but at least Mac Jones, they believe in Mac Jones.
His wide receiver one got hurt.
They believe in Mac Jones at least.
Have they finished installing
Zach Wilson's own receivers don't believe in him. Garrett Wilson said, we heard what he said. He said that the ball came better from Joe Flacco. He was so surprised in practice when the ball from Joe Flacco had such zip on it. And it was like, consider what that means for a second. Consider what that means about what he was seeing from Zach Wilson. I don't want any part.
Zach Wilson may never be what Joe Flacco was at the best of his career. So,
you mean elite quarterback?
No, stop that. But
I think this dual offensive coordinator thing that the Patriots have going on
is so bad.
God.
Well, we know it's going to be bad.
It's going to be so bad.
Oh,
you're going to want Baker Mayfield over Mac Jones this year.
I'm like trying my best to get out of every Mac Jones share. Stickman 87, 10-team Superflex, start 9, half PPR, traded Mixon for 2 first and Singletary because the value was too good to pass up. Trying to figure out the best way to replace Mixon now.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it. And you can replace Mixon later, but replace him with cheaper options. But I love this.
Yep.
You can take one of these first later on in the season and upgrade your running back if you need to.
Yeah.
Jaws actually more and more likely to happen since running back keep getting drafted later.
Not true. Not true. It's just that the first is not as common for running backs, but there's just as many running backs being drafted in the second and third.
100% agree with Jaws here. I think we're going to have to adjust our expectations at some point on draft capital of running backs if it keeps getting pushed down.
I've already done it. What has not changed is that you want them to be on day 2. It's just that expecting anyone to go round 1 is a ridiculous expectation because running backs just don't go in round 1.
The real test is going to be next year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
To see if Bijan is a first rounder, which I think there's a high probability that he is, we are still going to be we want our running backs to be drafted highly.
Most good running back prospects still go on day 2.
Early day 2.
Sure, but
remember last year we had 2 first-round running backs last year. I don't know if people remember that.
And yes, one of them didn't belong there.
Well, fair, but we had 2 first-round running backs last year and another running back who was drafted in the first 3 picks on day 2. So, yeah.
I think at some point you do have to start adjusting if the NFL adjusts.
Yeah, but the NFL is going to take a decade.
The NFL really hasn't adjusted anything though. Like in terms of day 2, they've adjusted in terms of not picking them in the top 10.
Right. Exactly.
But
Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette,
they're still having the same number of guys in the first couple of rounds. It's just that they've moved back like 30 picks.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if we have first-round running backs in the next 2 years.
I wouldn't either.
We could.
Bijan could be a first-rounder next year, and then we have 2 running backs right now for 2024 that could also be first.
Let's focus on 2022 right now.
Fair, but I'm just saying, in terms of the NFL adjusting to running backs, I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Eric says Breece Hall is easily startup top 10 for running back.
They're already these 2 are already in the top.
Yeah, he already is running back 7. And Jalen Waddle, yeah. Let's see, where is Waddle?
Waddle's on the fringe. Yeah, I think he is top 10 as well.
Hall is wide receiver running back 7, excuse me. Yeah, Waddle is
8 or 9.
Yeah.
7 as well. They're both 7.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So they already are.
Oh, he says in super. Yeah, that's. I'd have to
maybe it means top 10 overall.
That's not going to happen in Superflex.
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Nico, Trinidad, Daniel Jones, DK, 23 first, or Trevor Lawrence, 12-team Superflex PPR.
Yeah, I'm not paying it. So that's going to be the package side.
It's close.
I'm not paying it.
This honestly would look a lot better without Daniel Jones on it.
I'm not paying
DK and a 23 first for
side.
Trevor Lawrence to me sounds a lot better than Daniel Jones DK and a 23 first.
That's so funny because you're right. Sometimes like throwing in that extra player you think gives value and it actually makes the trade look worse.
It does.
This one's hard for me.
I'll take the package. It's just not that hard because I wouldn't pay it.
I think I'll take the package side too, but
it's close.
It's hard. I definitely counter this to try to get Trevor another way.
Yeah.
Sure.
I love
Jordan
it.
Mason went to my high school. Shout out to Gallatin High School, Tennessee.
Nice. Gallatin.
I hope I said that right.
Probably
the highest paid long snapper in NFL history went to my high school.
Oh, nice.
Luke Rhodes plays for the Colts.
Costi 12-team Superflex 23 second, or Baker only have Kyler and Jimmy G.
Baker,
but not by much.
Baker's elevating to still worth the second, but not worth the first. But he's the highest.
I don't think Baker will ever be worth a first again.
He has to really show out again.
Doesn't matter. He's never been good enough for fantasy to be worth the first. So I'm no for me on ever being worth. I think Baker is just a perma no on being worth the first. I don't care.
I think
It's
if
not
he has
good
like a
enough.
4,025 year signs long term with the Panthers, I think
Not for
we'll
me.
get there.
Still won't buy it.
Okay.
Have you ever? I was listening to the Ryan Russillo show, and he was breaking down all of the quarterbacks who changed, like first round quarterbacks who changed teams.
Yes, they're all bad. Yeah,
It's
all
basically
bad.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill's
The only
success.
success story,
I know, but we've talked about this.
and that's it.
You're just using what I said and giving someone else credit for it. Like,
no, I was
well,
listening.
no, but like
to Ryan
I'm the one who
Russillo,
said this.
had-
I challenged the two of you to come up with any quarterback, forget first round, any quarterback who washed out on their rookie contract and then succeeded elsewhere. And the only one we could ever come up with was Ryan Tannehill. I said that on the show. You can go pull the segment. It was a very obnoxious 7-minute segment of me yelling, but it's here. It's like 3 months ago. I said that. So, it's, yeah, I agree. I've said it myself and have yelled about it many times. So not the first time it's come up on this very show.
I guess we like with every single one of those that changed teams, we tried to talk ourselves into it.
Who's we? Who's we? We. Don't include me in we. I'm not a part of that we.
But Tyler,
Maybe
you act like
you can be a part of
ADP
that.
doesn't exist. Like your rankings aren't the only thing that exists. Like ADP
Well,
is a
no,
real
I
thing.
just want
The
the record
community
to show.
talks themselves
I
into
hear
it.
you. I just want the record to show that I'm not a part of that we.
Okay, so
I
everyone except
disagree.
for you talks themselves into the
Well,
other guys.
then everyone is
made
making a
excuses.
mistake then. Everyone's making mistakes, just like they made with Carson failure, just like they could make with Baker Mayfield. If I could get a second and a third for Mayfield, I would just take it. Move on.
My point is, people are going to make those excuses to jump into Baker
Oh,
here. And
I
say
agree
he's gonna
with
be
you.
The outlier, and we thought
I
that about
agree
all
with
the other
you.
the community. There were parts of the community that thought that about other ones too.
I agree with you. People are going to make that mistake. So what would you like me to do? Would you like me to just throw up my hands and be like, yeah, no, make the mistake. Go ahead, do it. Or would you like me to say what I'm saying now and say, don't make the mistake. Don't do it. But see, you guys sometimes are too nice about it. It's like, oh yeah, this, that. And like, that's what I like to be like, no, we're not doing it. And like, that's why I always come out like aggressively, especially in things like this. It's like, don't do it.
I feel like you're saying the same thing, just both at different tones of aggressiveness.
I'm just being aggressive. I just think they need to hear this tone. They need to hear this tone of voice.
The real question, though,
that I'm not
is,
just mad about it. I'm actually like adamant about it.
The real question, though, is are there any wide receivers currently at the age of 30 through 31 who could succeed?
Hey, people liked that segment. People like that segment. So, they like that segment.
Keep going, Cal. We just need to move on.
Damian Pierce rises all about the community over sell of Marlon Mack, non-guaranteed vet minimum contract. How did anyone think the job was maxed? It's because Lovie Smith is there, and he wants the veteran presence and all that. Like, I think it's not like Marlon Mack is nothing. I mean, like, the fact that he got cut today doesn't mean that Marlon Mack is done. Like, Leonard Fournette got cut in Jacksonville 2 years ago.
This is also hindsight. Like, it's really easy to say in retrospect, yeah, how did anyone think that after you already know what happened? That's really easy to do. But like, it's not that easy, like, to predict these situations. You have other situations in which the rookie is, you would think that they would not, like, you would think that Tyler Algier would be ahead of Damien Williams, but he's not. And you can say, well, how could anyone think that Damien Williams would be ahead of Tyler Algier? How could anyone think that washed up? And you'd be wrong about that. So it's like, it's so easy in hindsight to go one way or another, but if it were that easy, everyone would be a fantasy analyst and there would be no need for me or, anyone else. And on top of that, even the best analysts, you get it right 65% of the time. You're like a God tier analyst, God tier 65% of the time. If you're 55 or 60%, you're good. It's like, people, you can't get it all right. It's just not possible.
This tweet acts like Keyshawn Vaughn and Trey Sermon weren't things over the last 2 years.
It's like I said, it's just you can't. It's hindsight. Hindsight is 2020.
Right.
It's easy to predict the future from the future.
I would not be surprised at all if Marlon Mack was the starter right now.
No, I wouldn't have been surprised at all.
No.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Next.
Austin, 10-team Superflex Happy VR. Ship Zeke for Fields and a 23 third.
What? No,
Yes.
Fields is worth more than Zeke. So Fields easily.
Yes. Move Zeke now. Do it.
If you had, if he's saying like, should I offer this? Like, is
No.
that an offensive offer?
Offer it, dude. See what happens. If you have the offer, smash it. Break your finger. Don't act.
Sean traded Breeze for Akers, a mid to high 23 first, and David Bell, 12-team Superflex. The further from the trade I get, the less I like it. Thoughts?
I would have liked this better a few weeks ago, but now I just cross my fingers and hope. But I hear you for liking it less. I would like it less now.
I would still take the Akers side.
So would
especially
I,
if that ends up being a high first, actually being a high first,
Yeah.
like you might think it might.
So would I.
You'll like it. You'll like it in 7 months. That 4 months. You'll like it in 4 months if that's like the 1 to 3, 1 to 4.
Yeah, I just don't know how much value Michael Carter's backup's going to have this season. I'm just not sure.
Not a lot.
Mystical Child official YouTube. I noticed Jalen Warren was dropped in a few of my Dynasty leagues. He made the Steelers roster. Just not sure he's the number 2 since Snell is there. Is he worth a stash?
100%. He is the number 2. Anybody who watched the preseason and tells me that he looked worse than Benny Snell or Benny Snell looked better, you're lying.
Yeah.
And also Jalen Warren was the only other running back. What was it? A week or 2 ago who ran with the ones, not Benny Snell. So
is there any other backup running back spot more valuable than the Steelers? Honestly, because as soon as like if
they'll get everything.
Najee Harris, everything's going to the number 2.
Yeah,
everything.
The only thing right now that would make me not worried, but would make me out on Jalen Warren is Sony Michel or Marlon Mack.
Well, then I would be out. Yeah,
100%. But as of right now, pick up Jalen Warren now, see what happens over the next week and a half, and go from there.
Let's see. Is this what you said, Ed?
No.
I mean, Tyler? No.
Okay.
Let's see. I feel like this is another running back's birthday. Not just Rojo. Which falling rock, Dobbins or Akers?
Akers if I have to choose.
Akers.
I would just say, why not both?
Akers has the receiving volume at least. Or did.
I like both of them, though. I'm not out.
You finally got to the right word.
Chad has a team, mostly rookies, 2 to 3 year players. Superflex, I have Russell Wilson as my oldest player. Do I deal him or keep him? My other QB is Tua. Good job.
I would probably hang on to Russell Wilson. I think you're going to need him.
Mm-hmm. He's a 2 firsts kind of player.
Yeah, at least.
Minimum.
It might depend on who the rookies and second and third year players are. If you're not competing, I don't mind trying to see if you could flip Russell Wilson.
Sure. I'm good with that.
Giles wants to know why Akers is falling.
Because he's not participating in things. Still injured.
Didn't he participate today?
Yeah, he did. So that's good. But
Darrell Henderson also participated.
Yeah. So. And it looks like they're going to more of a committee as well.
Yes.
Chad gave the answer about 30 minutes ago. Good job. Thanks, Chad. And Ed did too. Good. There we go. The thing about shares was completely that I think JJ is an absolute stud, and I have no teams with him. I just love football and rooting for good players.
I did say if that's the reason, then it's fine.
Yeah, go get JJ.
Let's see. Adam loves the show. Never misses an episode. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate you tuning in. Marty Williams, how would y'all go about trading DeAndre Swift? I was with Deontay, and then I couldn't figure out. Wait a minute. Nice. DeAndre Swift, if you were projected the first or second overall pick.
First.
I try to go for first. Maybe a player like could you get
first.
Yeah, could you get like Jalen Waddle and something else? Maybe.
I was saying, could you go for like Elijah Moore in a first?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Or Michael Pittman in a first. You're not getting Jalen Waddle in first. That would be fun.
No,
Do
Jalen
that
Waddle.
if you can.
Yeah,
but
Jalen
not-
Waddle in a second, I'd still take it though.
That would be fun.
Swift feels like a lock to be a top 10 guy next year, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like you've got to make sure you're getting something similar back at least.
Yeah, you got to get what he's valued for right now, for sure. Like, I wouldn't sell him at a discount just because you're not competing and he's giving you production.
Well, I never want to sell it at a discount.
No. But 2 firsts, a young receiver and a first, you know. You could take the thing about Swift is as long as he doesn't get injured, you can take him into the season. And you know, you don't have to have like there's no pressure to deal him over the next week and a half. So just see what you get. I'm sure he's going to be wanted, so I'm sure people are going to be willing to pay.
Just pulled up the trade finder. This is a super flex 12 team. DeAndre Swift and a first round pick for Justin Herbert. That's not what I would do in your situation.
Not what I
Marty,
would do. Yeah.
But that's a pretty good deal. Oh, here we go. Tyler's going to love this one. DeAndre Swift or Juju Smith-Schuster and a 23 first.
DeAndre Swift.
You made me choose against Juju.
Nice. Open 24 hours, 10 teams, tiered PPR, start 10, Chase Edmonds and Alan Lazard, or Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Yeah,
easily.
Mike Evans. Justin 12 team, half PPR, 1 QB, Damian Pierce, and a 23 third, or a 24 first.
I have to add to Damian Pierce to get a 24 first and 1 QB. I'm not taking this. I'm holding out for better. You can do better.
You can do better.
You can do better than this. You can get more. You can get more. So
sit on this deal.
Unless you've really explored every other option, this isn't good enough.
I would take it. You can sit on this deal for a day or two.
You can definitely do better. I would look to the other teams. Look for player deals. You can do better than this. I guarantee you can do better.
And Antonio Gibson, Jacoby Myers, and Isaiah Likely, or Elijah Moore, and Khalil Herbert.
If you put Khalil Herbert on the other side, it would still be Elijah Moore. So Elijah Moore easily.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing. This is just
This is a terrible trade and in favor of the Elijah Moore side. So
take Elijah Moore.
Yeah, if you're getting Elijah Moore, smash accept.
Costi Watson in a 23 first and 24 first, or Justin Herbert.
It's Watson.
It is.
Yeah, for sure.
John show's over, and he finally gets to tune in. I appreciate it, John. Thank you for stopping by.
One of the last guest spots.
What show are you watching?
I think he means his own show.
On a show, I
think he means his own show is over.
Oh, that's fair. That makes more sense now.
I've been on his. I've been on some show he was hosted. I forget.
I was wondering if you're watching a show.
It was Goat District. It was back in the day. I did
Goat District is lit. That's the freaking.
Maybe one day I'll do more guest spots.
I want to go on Goat District.
That was a hint. If you're on a podcast and you want me as a guest, DM me.
John, I want to be on Goat District again.
Monty has an unfounded suspicion that the Niners have been planning on trading Sermon. You guys, Spidey senses going off on that?
We talked about this earlier, how I don't think the 49ers are going to go through the whole season with 5 tailbacks. That either someone's probably injured and going on IR, probably Mitchell, or this is a good point. This is another possibility that they're trying to trade one of their running backs. That would be Sermon is the one that they'd be trying to trade. The one with draft capital that someone else might want. Because it would make sense. Realistically, a running back room of Mitchell, Tyrion Davis-Price, their 3rd round pick this year, Jeff Wilson, their trusted veteran, and Jordan Mason, who can play on special teams at UDFA, would make sense without Trey Sermon in it. So, no, I don't have any information that this is the case, but this is another explanation for why they kept 5 tailbacks. Would make sense. So let's see. Again, though, I do think that between now and week 1, some tailback is not on the active roster. So we'll see what happens.
I'd be curious to see where he goes and who and what they pay for him.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought of this as a possibility, but it would be like a 7th. Conditional.
Yeah, it'd be like they pay like a 6th for Sermon and a 7th or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I'd be curious
with
though.
the same teams. Although I don't think the Commanders would trade for a running back. It would be the Eagles. It would be the Eagles.
I mean, would you rather have Sermon than any of those available running backs recently available?
No.
So I don't know why you do this.
Yeah, I don't either.
People want Jalen Reagor and
I mean, the
Denzel
Seahawks
Mims,
traded for
so.
the very incompetent Seahawks traded for JJ Arcega-Whiteside and then cut him.
Yes. So
So,
there are people out there. There are teams out there that will trade for Trey Sermon.
yeah.
If I've learned anything.
Texans might.
Gosh. I'm so ready for that take.
Yeah.
Trey Sermon greater than Damian Pierce.
Oh, God.
Chad Booth, Wilson, Tua, Pittman, Waddle, Dillon, DJ Moore, Elijah Moore, Stevenson, Swift, Schultz, London, Walker, Pickett, Komet.
All right, this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. A lot of players I like.
Yeah. This is
These
he's
are
the
the
one who
first and
he was the
second
one who
round.
asked about moving Russell Wilson. This is his team.
Keep Wilson
so.
on this team.
You are competing, Chad.
Yes.
Yeah, keep Russell Wilson, dude.
Definitely. MVP Russell Wilson this year?
Could be.
A comeback player of the year, I think for sure.
Comeback player of the year would be good.
But I think MVP is in the cards as well.
People in Denver are starting to talk about when Peyton Manning joined them. I mean, that kind of hype is going on now.
Mm-hmm.
Chad says, thanks for answering my question. Y'all are great. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate the question. That's what we do here. It's Ask DLF. Really truth, they're turning back in after Hard Knocks. Who finishes higher this year, Amon-Ra or Judy?
I have Amon-Ra higher. I'll go Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra. Judy has a higher ceiling, lower floor.
I don't agree.
I agree with myself.
I actually think it's the other way around.
Okay. Yeah, I think what you're saying makes sense in terms. When you say higher ceiling, do you mean in terms of ADP or production?
Both.
Because he hasn't shown the production part.
I've been saying all year long that one of these Broncos wide receivers is going to be a wide receiver one, if not both.
Well, I doubt it because I have them ranked at 24 and 25. So if I have them ranked that way, then I don't think either of them has much wide receiver one in their range of outcomes.
So you must have Albert O really high.
I have Alberto at tight end 13.
With no Greg Dulcich for the first few weeks.
Yes, that's why he's 13 and not 14. But I have Russell Wilson at quarterback 10 or 11, depending on the format. So
why did you say maybe about him being MVP if you have them all of his weapons ranked so low?
Because I actually think Russell Wilson could lead this team to a lot of wins, even if it's not
if they come
it's
out
not
of
the
that
most
division,
fantasy friendly. I think he could be very efficient and lead them to a lot of victories. And MVPs are based on victories. But Russell Wilson for fantasy is not necessarily the guy I'm going to be chasing as a top 5 guy. But I do think the Broncos are going to be a very good team. And if Russell Wilson is the quarterback of a 13-4 Broncos team as a very efficient quarterback, I could get some MVP votes. You don't think so?
Monty thought Miami was going to go after Thurman when they cut Michelle.
See, you'd rather have Sony. At that point, that's your decision.
Yeah, that makes
no
sense.
Sony.
They're fine with their other running backs. They have Gaskin and Ahmed, and they're fine with them as their 3 and 4. But most are just backup for now.
What's your guys' pre-kickoff offensive rookie of the year predictions? DK has plus 1,000 for Olave, plus 900 for Damian Pierce.
Hall is my prediction. Brees Hall.
If Kenny Pickett plays more than half the season, I bet you he'd probably be the favorite.
Brees Hall for me.
Who else?
Or Drake London.
Drake London would be the other one. Yeah, in consideration. He's the only wide receiver I have ranked as like a real redraft asset.
It's
the
not
other ones
going
are
to
in
be
speculative range.
Was James Robinson the offensive rookie of the year?
No, it's going to be Brees Hall, I think.
Well, wait, who won it that year?
That was 2020. So
I was going to say, my thought was Joe Burrow, but I don't think it was Joe Burrow.
It's not. It wasn't.
Herbert.
Justin Herbert, yeah.
Well, right. Yeah. You're not going to win it over Justin Herbert, but there is no Justin Herbert.
Or Justin Jefferson. Those were the two players that year. The Justins.
Right.
I think it was Herbert.
No one like that in this class.
All right.
It's Treylon Burks.
No, it's not. Let's move on.
You just wait. Early 23 first or George Pickens.
23 first.
Early 23
Very
first.
easily the early first. 12 team Superflex, Godwin or David Bell, 24 second. And I was going to say Devery Henderson again.
Godwin
easily.
So easily. Thought I'd be rebuilding. No,
You're
Chad, you are competing.
You are competing.
12 team Superflex, Josh Allen and Devonta Smith, or Brady, Chase, and Alvin Kamara.
Allen and
Oh man.
Yeah, Allen and Smith, I guess.
Give me Brady, Chase, and Kamara and go win a title.
But it's Josh Allen. I don't think there's a wrong answer. Sorry, Sean.
A few more here. 2 QB, Lawrence, Lance, Tannehill, Mayfield, Zach Wilson, Dynasty. Can I cut Zach Wilson?
Don't cut Zach Wilson.
Not in a 2 QB.
Why
Definitely not.
Yeah,
no.
No. If you're cutting any of those quarterbacks, I'm cutting Tannehill.
Mayfield.
Yeah.
Tannehill.
You're not cutting any of the quarterbacks. It's irrelevant.
Don't cut any of the quarterbacks. Sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Who do you like more, Wandale or Alec?
Wandale.
Underestimating Lockett with massive garbage time. Seahawks will be facing both AFC and NFC West.
Not really, no.
No, but we're underestimating DK because he was the wide receiver 4 during his time with Geno Smith.
Yeah. Touchdowns.
It doesn't matter how bad he is if he's going to be peppered with targets. How bad Geno is. Who do you like more, Tyler Algier or Jalen Warren?
Algier.
Tyler Algier.
Actually
Warren.
drafted.
Get rid of Algier.
I'll take Tyler Algier.
Take Warren.
Just in case.
Algier can't beat out Damien Williams. Rodgers, Mac Jones, Matt Ryan, Brees Hall, Javonte Pierce. Okay, that's his. Is that? I don't know what to say.
I don't know.
Second one, looking to win in 2 years, getting a lot of attention for Pitts and Hall. Not sure if it's worth trading them.
We've seen some Pitts and Hall trades on this show. You saw what kind of return we wanted for Pitts.
And Hall.
Yeah.
Hall struck on DK, but can't ever seem to get a Jets player winning. Last running back was PSU alum's finest.
The Jets will be good eventually. It could happen.
What a great way to end this show.
Yeah.
You guys are great.